Dealing with hardship actually makes you stronger. That's what Governor Cuomo said earlier today. That's what I'm going to go teach my kids right now at home.
I'm wowed by what you did, and more importantly, I'm wowed by how you did it. Obviously, I'll never be objective. Obviously, I think you're the best politician in the country.
All right, well, the left-wing media spent months fawning over New York Governor Andrew Cuomo at the height of the pandemic, ignoring many of the scandals that were going on under and about Cuomo. Some of them manipulating nursing home data and COVID deaths, the sexual harassment allegations of multiple women and staffers, also his boastful memoir that his staff partly wrote. And there are just so many more that we could go into. But things got pretty awkward last night on CNN with Chris Cuomo, who didn't mention his brother's scandal in his show at all, or the fact that he himself was named in the Attorney General's report. Then he had to pass it over to Don Lemon, Sean, who was leading his show with the scandal. Watch.
I love you, brother.
I love you, D. Lemon.
All right. This is Don Lemon tonight. The calls are getting louder and louder. This is what I'm talking about. Top Democrats from New York to the White House calling on Governor Andrew Cuomo to resign.
All right, not awkward at all. No. Let's bring in our company to react. Host of the Grace Curley Show, Grace Curley, and host of the Gorka Reality Check right here on Newsmax, Sebastian, Gorka. Welcome back, guys.
Great to be with you.
All right, so I want to go around the horn here. And Sean, I want to include you in this and get some fast reactions on some of these questions to break this all down. I thought it was a bit awkward last night that Chris Cuomo didn't even mention at all on his show about his brother. Should he have? Seb, I'm going to start with you.
Sean, I just love you, bro. Do you love me? Can we out-cringe them? Let's try it now. CNN, it's a joke. Guys, just shut it down. Close the door. Last loser out. Switch off the lights. You have just demonstrated what we've been saying on this show since the get-go. You're not journalists. You never were journalists. You're hacks. You're losers, you're liars, you're propagandists. And now everybody knows Randy Andy's in trouble, but his brother Fredo, he's not going to talk about it. And Don's going to say, I love you, brother.
Yeah. Grace, I mean, this is serious stuff here. Should Chris Cuomo have mentioned on his show last night something?
Well, I think Dr. Gorka is absolutely correct. I mean, it doesn't make a difference if he does or if he doesn't. He has no credibility. No one takes him seriously. And there's not going to be any self-reflections from this media. We saw that montage of them gushing over Andrew Cuomo. They're not going to learn from this. They're not going to self-reflect and say, you know, maybe we need to be a little bit less biased. No, they're just going to keep going because they're not sorry that he got caught being a creep and a criminal. They're only sorry that people like Assemblyman Ron Kim and all of these brave women won't stop talking. That's what they're sorry about. It's not about that they feel so bad or they now realize he's a bad guy. They're just sorry he got caught.
Yeah. Sean?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he should have opened the show and just said, look, I've said it before, but I can't talk about it, but obviously I acknowledge it, and the rest of CNN will talk about it. I mean, it was awkward, and he should have at least acknowledged the elephant in the room, because that Seb's right, that handoff was probably the most cringeworthy thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. So we already know that Chris Cuomo told Governor Cuomo not to apologize. He had advised him privately. He was also mentioned in the Attorney General's report. The interesting thing is, I don't believe that was mentioned yesterday on CNN. Seb, do you think that CNN should be breaking that down more, that one of their anchors has been in the AG's report?
If they had a scintilla of honor, of course, but they don't. Let's remember, Fredo Cuomo was the man who broke quarantine, who was found to be breaking quarantine, then lied about it on his show when he was challenged. And then afterwards, you cannot make this up. Stages like Lazarus from the tomb, this fake coming out of quarantine on his friend's iPhone. I mean, this is propaganda, and he is absolutely shameless. If he had a brain, he would be ashamed, but he doesn't, so he's not. They are all a complete clown show. That's CNN.
Grace, does this make Chris Cuomo culpable?
I think think so. I think that even now, I just saw something that MSNBC is saying that, both Cuomo brothers need to be done. They need to take a step away from the spotlight. And the only thing I want to add in about Chris Cuomo is don't forget when he got in the fight with the fat tire biker who asked him to put his mask on, or when the apartment complex he lives in said he's walking around without a mask. I mean, this guy is a hypocrite on COVID on so many levels. But the amazing part of it is when he does do his own show, the first thing he talks about is COVID in Florida, and he's still so morally righteous and superior. It's really amazing. But the punishment is the ratings. Their ratings are tanking. And that's where it comes into play. People are waking up to this. They're not listening to the Cuomo brothers anymore.
Sean, do you think that Chris Cuomo should lose his position at CNN if it proves that he is continuing to advise the governor?
Well, at first, I don't think he probably still does it, but I think that CNN's been so sanctimonious about other allegations, especially those made against Republicans and during the Kavanaugh hearings. The idea that they've been silent on one of their own, basically advising the governor to be defiant, not apologize for 11 different women accusing him of something, shows that they can't be trusted. I mean, this is not just about Chris Cuomo, it's the whole network. The bottom line is they're very sanctimonious about everybody else, but when one of their own did it, they won't touch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Seb, Governor Cuomo received an Emmy. You probably remember this. I think we talked about it with you for his glorious briefings. Should that be taken away?
I don't really care. I mean, I really don't care. Let's stop talking about them. Grace is absolutely right. God has a sense of humor. Newsmax is exploding in popularity. Don't forget, my show is Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And CNN, since President Trump left office, CNN in the prime time has lost 70% of its viewership. Do you know how many people watch CNN? We have a nation of 320 million people. Less than 500,000 people watch a show in prime time. I have a radio show that gets 3 million listeners. CNN is a joke. I mean, it's fun to do this, but really, should we give them any oxygen at all? I think maybe not.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe you're right. Okay, I only have seconds left here, but I want to get all your opinion on this. Grace, I'll start with you. Does Governor Cuomo step down, or is he dragged out with an impeachment?
Oh, I think he's going to be dragged out with an impeachment. People used to say this about Trump, like he's not going to leave unless someone comes in and pulls him out. That couldn't be further from the truth about Trump, but it's absolutely true about Andrew Cuomo. He is not leaving unless, he's being pulled out physically from the mayor's office. I mean, the governor's office.
Yeah. Sean, is he going to step down?
No, I agree with Grace.
All right, Seb, real quick, about 10 seconds.
He's not leaving the mansion unless it's in a pine box or in handcuffs. That's who Randy Andy is.
All right, you heard it here. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.